Hello, this is Victor and here with the second part of the painting tutorial of the Elder from the Black Fortress and the Blackstone Fortress, sorry. This is the how it's called, the Asuryani Scout. And now we are going to paint, we are going to try to finish the work on this second part. So in the first part, if you're interested in the first part, I have done all what you can see up to here, and now we are going to go for the next step. So I will now apply the last base colors that I need to apply, just to have all the colors applied on the miniature, and then we will start doing the highlights. So the next step is I'm going to use Flake 1 Flash for some of the details that I want to go with a white with more cream finishing. So normally I use Celeste Gray for the more cold white, to say it in a way, and now I'm going to use Flake 1 Flash to paint this type of things. Okay, these are these ornaments we have here. Okay, and I will paint as well. I forgot that here I have a gem thing, but we can apply as well the Flake 1 Flash, and then we will work to make look like the others. Okay, you can see now that the part we were doing like more goldish looking, but without looking gold. After the wash, it's much goldish. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to apply this around here, because I guess this is the ribbon around. Oh, I think this is the ribbon around the thing. Oh, I will do it like that. No, this is not the case. So sometimes it's up to everyone to. Then I will do also these ornaments here on the dagger. Okay. Okay, here we are. I want to go for quite a clean white. This is why I don't do too many washes on the white. Or why I will not do almost any wash on the white. I have observed I missed one part when I was doing this thing here. So I will go for brown color, and I will use more fun brown on this part of the sniper rifle. Okay, so this part here, then we're going to do a wash with Aquax Air Shade later on. Okay, I think in the miniature in the Games Workshop miniature is more reddish color, but I wanted to go a little bit different here. Okay, there we are. And now I'm going to paint the metallic for the sword, and here is the part that I'm not sure really how to do it, so I will experiment a little bit, and I will start applying from scale 75 Amethyst Alchemy. So this is a purplish silver. Okay, I think this will work quite well. The other option is to go for a very desaturated pale silver, but in that case I want to use this one. Looks much purple than it's in reality. Now I'm just applying base colors. Later on we are going to clean up, and really what you can see, it's scale 75 colors are quite nice, but you have to shake them quite well. Okay, so it's more purple than what I was looking for. So what we can do, okay, let's finish first this to make a homogeneous look first. The other option is to make silver and wash it with very thin purple. Okay, but I prefer to go in that step. Okay, Now I'm going to take as well from scale 75 speed metal. Okay, let me see if I find it here. I have to put a little bit of order to my colors. Here it is, for this heavy metal. So this is the speed metal. It's the one I use the most from the metallic kits. They have a scale 75 have a kit of only focus on metallics, and this is the color that I had to order a new one. It's the only one that I use it a lot because I think it's a very have a very thin metallic. It's easy to use. Maybe it's not as good as the the model color, but it's quite. The only thing I need to. Okay, here I have. This is enough. Sorry, I will mix it a little bit. Now we are going to go to make it lighter here. We are going to go to do something like that. No. Not to be silver, but keeping this purple tint. Okay, you can see as the previous layer is scale 75 have retardant included in the formulation, so it's going to be slower to dry. Okay, then for example, then Games Workshop colors. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make the top pure silver. Okay, here we don't need to miss this part. Doing my line. Okay. So we'll keep, for example, we want to do this part more silver. So I'm adding silver and drag it down in the bottom, and then I will do this part here as well, more silver. We can give this sensation of reflections. Okay. We do the same on the other side. One side and then the other side we do it on the opposite, on the flat part. Then we can add a little bit of purple here to make it work the effect correctly. Okay. Okay. So let's go now to do some highlights, and I will start doing the highlights on the green. So I will use now. Sorry. I've been coughing quite a lot recently. I will use mood green. Okay, I'm going to highlight this, the dark green with the green that is more. It's different, that it's more on. They have a little bit more of yellow in it. Okay, so I'm going to paint the mask. Okay, we want to highlight a little bit the mask. What we want is first I touch the top of the mask, and now I go to here. And the good advantage of the mood green is that it's quite transparent, so it will help. It will help on making the highlights smoother. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do here. over here. Okay. Now will come the part that will take more time. That is to highlight the cloth. Okay, the cloth is completely flat, and now I'm going to start working on highlighting that. So first I will apply mud green, and I will go back to the color that we used, that was Caliban green, and we are going to, I will work like a wet blending on that. Okay, so let me remove this, make a space. Ideally, yeah, I'm going to apply first again Caliban green, and as you can see, we will work with advantage that the mud green is quite transparent. We don't want to go too light, I want to keep it quite dark, and the reason I go for this green over a green that is more camouflage is because I want to do the tones that he has on as a freehand all over the clothes, and you see will have a very nice, it's going to be quite, we'll change to a bigger brush, I don't want to damage this one. Okay, you don't need, for the first steps you don't need a lot of precision to do that. It's more a matter of mixing the colors. Glazing is a mixture, I'm using here like a technique between glazing and blending at the same time. Okay, so what you can see, I go with the mud green. It's quite, the mud green is have the advantage, it's quite transparent. So the greens are these greens are quite, especially the mud green is quite transparent, and it helps a lot on having smooth transitions. Okay, and then you see we're having this type. I want to give even this type of velvety effect. Okay. So you go here. Yeah, this brush is not the best. I will go for a smaller one to have a little bit more precision. This is where I'll take one of my old. This is why I keep all brushes, because then they will help me when I need. So I don't. This is quite a damaged brush, but this is still working to do this. It's quite good enough to do these details. Okay. To be fair, it's difficult for me to throw away a brush, so I keep all brushes. This is too much. Sorry for this. Was a mistake from my side. So I need to go now back with mud green. A little bit. Okay. You see, the idea is that we work, we mix daily on the cloth. Okay. We do this type of blending to achieve the green, this green. Okay. I'm going to do this well here, the hood. This part that are like this, what I want to do is I will go very light at the extreme of the hood. So what I will do is I will keep light the extreme of the hood, and then darker this part here. So you want to, you don't have really a place where you can do the highlight, and a place but so you can do two approaches. So you do the half top lighter and the half, so for example here you can do this part lighter and then this part darker, or you can do the extreme lighter, so you wait in the way that it's for you and looks nice. Okay, and as I said, I will not go too light or too clear, because here for example we have this fold, and now I come with Caliban green and I do this. Okay. Here I realized that I went too light. So you can add a little bit of Caliban green, you see, and you manage highlights to show. If you want to go even lighter, you can use a little bit of how it's called, the green. So this is the Warpstone green. Sorry, I was confused. It's not the mood green, it's the Warpstone green, and you can use mood green if you want to go a little bit lighter. Okay, I go a little bit, but the Warpstone glow should be enough for this work. Okay, and it's a green that I really like a lot. How it looks like. It's a very vibrant green. Not, for example, not for Katachan, because you want to go more for a camouflage green than this one, but I think on Elder, especially Vieltang, it matches very well. Okay, and you have to take into account that is quite a transparent green. Okay, so I will keep doing the highlights now on the hood, and I come back once I have done that. So this is how the green looks like now. Okay, now it's much better. And the next step, let me zoom in a little bit. Maybe I'm a little bit too far. I will zoom a little bit more. Okay. Next step, I'm going to paint the white armor, and to do that, I will first use palette witch flesh. Okay, and I will use as well a white scar. Okay. So the reason is the palette witch flesh is not completely white, it has a slightly, slightly creamy color, and then I have the white, but this will help us to give more detail. So into some parts I will go like directly with white scar. For example, here I will use white scar directly because I want the contrast with the skin. Okay, and this part is going to be more tricky here. Okay, and now I will use palette witch flesh here. And you can see that although it looks very pale, the celestial gray, once we apply this color, it's really contrasting. Okay, here we have this. Okay, then I will use white scar because there is like a ornament in the armor there. Okay, what we do is with palette witch flesh I paint the different armor plates or armor decoration, giving their recesses with the Celesta gray. Okay. Some cases we will need to do a second layer. Okay, for example here I will do a second layer to clean up. That is looking good. We're going to paint the inside of the legs here. There are some parts that can be a little bit tricky to reach. So we have this gem here in the way to this part, but you see, you find a way. So let me do parts that are more easy to show. So shoulder pads, I use first the palette witch flesh. Okay. Now I use the white scar for this. I can use the white scar at the edge, and you will see that the white scar is slightly different than the palette witch flesh. This will help to even have the edge highlight. Okay. So now that here is dry, I go with white scar. You see that now it's even, you can notice the difference. Okay. And we will do the same for all the different armor plates, so we keep working on adding pallid witch flesh and then white scar as the second highlight. Okay, so I keep doing that on all the parts where we have white, and I'm back once this is done. So this is now how it's looking like with the white highlighted. Now I'm going to work on the brown, and I'm going to use more from brown to start highlighting on the dark brown parts. So here the idea is to again work like a glaze almost, go very and just highlight the different ornaments, and yeah, there are like some protections on this leather thing. Okay, we want to highlight this. Then here what we are going to do is to touch like that. Okay, and then I go on the side. We do a second one here like that. And change to the good. So okay, then I go here and I highlight this. Okay, I will do the other leg later on, but I want to show you how to do one leg and then the other ones are going to be done in the same way. So I'm going to do a second highlight, and for that I will use, thinking here, I will use more like a valor brown. This is going to be quite yellowish extreme highlight, but the idea here is we are going to glaze it anyway. So it's to just point the parts that we really want to pop up, right? So it's like to give, you want to play this very little. If you see that it's too much, you go back with the more from brown. We soften. Okay. This to add this extra highlight. Okay. See, I go back. This is what I wanted to show here, because normally when I do this type of work, I prefer to do it by zones instead of doing just one color and do all the parts with this color. Now is where I try to focus with zones, but it's going to be a repetition. In each zone we are going to do the same. Okay, on each the leather part, I'm going to follow the same type of highlight. You see, I'm doing look here at the back, like that. Then I come down. And when it's too evident, I go back with more from brown. You can even go on top and just you make it light darker. You see? Now it's much discreet. I'm going to apply more from brown on this edge here. Okay, and now I go back with this is Valor brown, just it's quite yellowish. And this is how you do, so I will do the other parts of leather like that. You see, quite interesting, quite nice, very nice highlights. So I will do the other leather parts and I continue. Okay, so you can see I have done the leather on the different parts. Now I will do some washes that I forgot to do before. So I'm going to use Agax Air Shade on this small brown part there. And I will use Noon Oil on the red gems. Okay, so I'm going to put Agax Air Shade here. Okay, a bit more. Now I take Noon Oil. We are going to apply Noon Oil on this, on the lens, to give a little bit sensation of darker, and as well I will do it back here on the gems. I want them to look a little bit darker. It will help to limit the area to have better vision of the gem. Okay, so that's it. We don't need to wait that this dries, we can paint another area. So you can see I was forgetting to do the gem with diamond shape that she has here on this part. Okay, so this goes blue, and I will use this. We'll first apply Caledor Sky on this part, on this gem. Okay, if you don't want to add another color, you can go purple, or you can go with a red gem at the end. Okay, just make sure that I cover everything. We are going to, while this is drying now, we can start working on highlighting the black. So to highlight the black, I go back to use Dark Reaper, that was the original color. We are going to use Dark Reaper, and I'm going to use Fenris Grey, I think it's called. No, the Funk. So not the Funk, no, sorry. This two. Ras Grey. We'll use this and Ras Grey, okay? So we'll use these two colors to highlight the black. So what we are going to do is, first I will look for the so let's just start from here. So I apply first Reaper, and then very carefully I use brush away. Not everywhere, sorry. So you want to keep, but for example these things I will apply, will touch these parts, then for example I go with the Reaper Gray, I add here this half, this type of, these are the typical elder protuberances on the armor. Then on the edge I go as well with this. Okay, so you want to be careful, you want to keep the black looking, you don't want to go too grayish. The way to do it, so for example for this part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like that. Okay, you want to do something like that, using no Reaper. It's called Dark Reaper, and then with just okay. Go slowly, don't rush when you highlight in black. You want to go step by step. To avoid to overdo. Let's do the cannon, the muzzle. Okay, I'll do like that. No, if it's too much, I go with a Reaper and I smooth. Okay. Here, this thing I touch this with raspberry, well this here, and now I go with Reaper, with Dark Reaper, that, and now I'm using no raspberry and I do something like that. You want to do like the cylindrical parts. You want to like a line following the cylinder axis, like if it's a reflection. Okay, here we do the same. Now I will follow just this line to show the detail of the weapon. Okay, I will do now the other side in the same way, and I'm back. So I have done the black here, as you can see, as you have seen. I did the other side. I did as well the scarf of this part, and then I did the grenades. So next I'm going to work on the different ornaments that we paint before, and now I'm going to use Usbati bone to highlight that ornaments there. Okay. So what we want to do now is to add Usbati bone and add this on most of the, on some parts, to add some color variation. Okay. So we follow the different ornaments, all this type of spirals. As you can see, there are a lot of things that they look like gems, but I will not paint them all as gems. So we want to here as well. No, you want to. If it goes too dark like here, we'll wash my brush. I will try to remove a little bit the excess of paint. Okay, you see, now it's okay. So there is, so we'll go, and here what we want to do is to add some here, for example, here. Okay, here, this part. And we keep doing all these ornaments. So this one, I'm going to do a little bit of edge highlighting because it's bigger. And we also do this one here. Okay, so we do like that. I'm going to apply it right here. Here you have, when it's on with the white, so you have to be careful to leave dark frame between the two to keep the contrast. And I'm going to put this as well on these ones. Okay, remember we have used one place, this is a little bit darker, so I'm going to apply this as well on these ones. Okay, because we are using no Uzbati bow. No Uzbati bow, sorry, Screaming Skull. This is a little bit more yellow. Okay, so we keep doing that. And the part that we don't need to forget is this one here. So it will go like that. Then this one, I will do like that. Okay, knife, well. This was a mistake, too much pressure there. Okay. And we want to okay. So we'll add some more, a little bit more here. A bit of edge, highlight there, and maybe there. We'll do the same on the other side. Okay. And next I'm going to use, no, before doing the highlights, I'm going to use Azurmen Blue, and I will wash the crystal we have here. I want to give a darker color to this one. Okay, we have. Okay, I know that this is dry, and I'm going to work on the gems. So I will do one on camera. You can think that all the other ones are done in the same way. So for the gems, I'm going to use first black. Okay, and I'm going to apply black at the top of the gem. So this is the tip. Okay, we put it there at the top. Something like that. Okay, we can do all the other gems on the visor. Here we are going to do the same. Or the visor, or this thing he's wearing here. We do the same, for example, on the pistol visor here. And we add a little bit of black on the top. Not center, we try to deviate a little bit to one of the sides. Okay, this one is quite complicated because it's hidden. Okay, I will do the other gems later on. These are really small, and maybe I will need to use the magnifier glass. Now I'm going to use Mephiston red, and we are going to touch the bottom of the gem with Mephiston red. Okay. So we are going to, and also try to be a little bit sideways like that. Okay, on the visor, I'm going to go at the bottom of it. Okay, and then on this one is going to be quite difficult. I will just touch a little bit like that to give the sensation of red, and that's all. Okay. Next, we are going to use white, and I'm going to go with white. Okay, you can use white scar, or you can use, as we used before, the palette witch flesh. So both colors are okay. I prefer to use palette witch flesh because it's a little bit less bright and will give a nice touch. And you want to do a dot at the top of the black, like that. Okay, then on the visor, we want to do the same. Okay, and I'm going to do the same here. Here we can do like that. It's going to be more than enough. And finally, I will use a little bit, we can use a wild rider red, or we can use as well 12 Slayer orange. Okay, and we put that at the bottom of the gem. Very little of this one, almost just a dot as well. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Then here is the part is the most difficult. I'm going to do something like that. Okay. And this is the way to do the gems. So I do the other small gems and I come back for the next step. So yeah, the gems now are done, and now is just to do this one here, and to highlight this one here I'm going to use now Northern blue, okay, and the idea here is to try to highlight, or we can use as well Bahar blue if you want. Okay, and this one is really in bad shape. I will use I need to look for a color. Okay, here we have. I'm going to use Northern blue. We want to like that. Then we touch here. Okay. I will just focus on the front. Will not do anything on the back because on top is not visible. Okay, here we have, and now we go to one of the next step that can be one of the most complicated, and this step is really completely optional. So we will be able to finalize here, but if you want to do know the thorns that we have on the cloth, I will cover now. I'm going to use Elysian green to do that. Okay. And the idea is you just do random patterns. So let's just start. You want to go thin. We start from one point. Okay, and we do something like that, and then from there we do something like that, for example, and you want really to add all these thorns. So you do random shapes, okay, all over the place. So you would like to do one other one here, then we can make, for example, another one like that. And then once you start having an area that is done, what you can do is, let me just make this line a little bit more solid. It's good that the lines are not all the same solid. I like this. Then you add like small leaves of spikes like this. Okay, and that's all. So the only thing is you have to try to respect the direction. Okay, and then here, for example, I will finalize this one like that. And we want to go like this. And it's up to everyone's how much you want to do of that. So we'll cover, you want to cover the cape with that. This can be the most time consuming part, but I think it's interesting. So yeah, I will keep doing that, and I show you once this is done, but there is not much to say here. It's just matter of adding more of this. And for here we can add another one that goes like that. Do it in a way that it's nice for you and looks interesting. So it's just, there is not really, the important thing is to make the lines as thin as possible and try to be random as well. So here, and then we can do this one going up, something like that. So we complement this, then we can do like that. Okay, so we keep doing that, I keep doing that, and I come back to show you the final result. Okay, and this is how this looks like. So this is the painting tutorial finish. I hope you have liked this one. It was quite, yeah, the second part was a little bit longer, but I really like how it looks like. I think it's really nice miniature to paint, and I really enjoyed painting this guy, or this lady, I have to say in that case. So that's all for now. Please give a like if you have liked this tutorial. Leave your opinions below. Let me know what do you think about the miniature, about the paint job, and yeah, and any opinion that you would like to share. As usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.